Hi, I'm Teresa the Traveler, and today I'm visiting historic Barkerville, British Columbia's gold rush town. Since the theme is gold rush, the first activity I'm going to check out while I'm here is gold panning.
It's about 7 to 10 times heavier than rock. It's 20% heavier in water. So when you're shaking side to side, it's going to sink right to the bottom, right? So first thing you always want to do is put lots of water in there and give her a good shake side to side. Now after a while, you're going to stop. You take all your bigger rocks and pebbles, give those guys a quick bath in the water, toss them out. When you lean it forwards like this, that gold's going to sink right into the corner of the pan down there. It's the only natural ledge that these traditional pans make. With the plastic ones, you got all sorts of things to go, but in these ones, you just have that one, right? Keep it tilted forwards, lots of water, lots of shaking. Then after a good shake, you're going to stop. And then you're going to wash away the top layers of rocks and gravel just by using the water. When you peel it back up out of the water, what happens is the waves that are falling out of the pan is going to peel away the lighter material on top, right? And shake, wash, shake, wash. The more water you have, the easier it'll be for you.
Now, if there was a large nugget in there, like a big one, you would have found it by now?
Not necessarily. The nuggets will... Well, maybe I hear a clunking or something down there, but the nuggets, the flakes, the gold dust, everything will sink right to the bottom. If you do see your flakes, you don't ever want to pick them up with your fingers. Any sort of oil, including the natural oil from your skin, gets on those gold flakes. You could coat them in oil, become contaminated, because gold and oil like each other in a very weird way. So it'll stick together like that. Water is going to come on in, it's going to make it float. Any sort of gold dust is going to do the same thing. If you do see a big old gold nugget in there, you pick it up with both hands, shove it in your pocket, and don't tell anybody you found it, right? You betcha.
So we've seen our first gold flake.
There's one.
Very exciting.
There's two guys up there. So bringing all this down like this, well, two all together, I should say, not two guys up there. Bring it in, 1, 2, 3. Quick shake. We'll take this around again to the bottom. Just be nice and relaxed. There's 4 guys right at the top
4.
there. So you always got to remember, when you get down to this part, don't let anything out of that pan without your permission. I got those 4 flakes up there. I leave them there. Imaginary line in the middle. No gold goes down. No dirt goes up. I pan through this stuff down here, just in case anything got past us. So we'll take that out. Nothing else is in there. We'll take all this to the bottom like this. Now this part, it's very about patience, right? Just very lightly hanging onto the pan. Letting the water take that dirt out. You really get to see how much heavier the gold is this way. You're going to start to see it poking its head faces out. There they are. It's almost as if we knew what we were doing, right? It's very carefully. A couple more pans, I might just know. Now, after you walk that dirt and stuff off, if you can't walk the dirt away from the gold, walk the gold away from the dirt. If I give that a whack, I'll walk the gold that way, right? I don't want to do that right now because we've got a full trough right here. But just again, I'm just going to take these waves around. Just to wash the gold flakes off.
So like retail, about how much would that gold be worth?
Retail, it depends on your buyer, depends on where it's from. These 4 flakes right there, if you wanted a proper estimate, probably about $4 or $5.
See? Billy Barker's 1862 discovery of gold on Williams Creek triggered a stampede of thousands to this part of the Caribou. The boomtown of Barkerville, which sprang up amidst the mining frenzy, has been a destination full of adventures for millions of people ever since. Today, the Caribou Gold Rush is still in full swing, and Barkerville is teeming with fortune seekers from all over the world. Historic townsfolk await your arrival, eager to relive 100 years of big finds and disappointments, the love stories and murderers' tales, the joys and hardships of life in the gold fields. At the beginning of town, we have the Church of St. Xavier, the Barkerville Anglican Church of Canada. So is this still a functioning church?
From the middle of May through first weekend in September, completely fully functioning.
Now this was the original church that was here from back in the Gold Rush days, or is this new?
Built here in 1869. And built where it is because the clergy in 1869, Reverend Reynard, wanted to make this the focal point of the town. Ah. So he bought the lot at the end of the street and he put up this tall, massive structure.
Now, how come there's a church right behind there?
Because the Methodist Church and the Anglican Church were built at the same time.
Oh, is there a Catholic church out here too?
Catholic Church was up in Richfield.
Oh, cool. Well, I think this is the largest fully preserved western town in British Columbia. I wonder what's in the Nickel Hotel Museum. Let's see. Oh, we got some handguns. Check these babies out. And some whiskey bottles. And some old beer bottles. And here's some of the clothes that the ladies would have worn back in that day. And they have a big selection of rifles. This looks like the dentist's office. They say they get a painless tooth extraction for 10 bucks. Nice. Okay, that is not looking painless. Check out this sign. Barker and Company struck pay dirt near this site on August 17, 1862. Between 1862 and the early 1900s, $600,000 in gold was mined. Billy Barker sold his share of the claim in 1864 and died a pauper in Victoria in 1894. And at the end of the town is a Chinatown. According to the lady at the front desk, the Chinatown here has the largest collection of Chinese artifacts outside of China. This is the Cung Tong Hostel. It said members of the Cung Tong could live here at no cost provided they did their share of woodcutting and other chores. Newly arrived Chinese would also bunk here until they found another accommodation. They have a Chinese museum full of Chinese artifacts that I'm going to go check out. Here are some cool Chinese dishes. And that over there is a Chinese dulcimer. I think it might be an instrument, I'm not sure. Well, this case has Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine has been practiced for thousands of years, including the extensive use of herbs and other compounds as curatives. And upstairs they have a kitchen set up. Most likely how a Chinese kitchen would have looked back in the day. The Li and Hong families lived here together from around 1932 to 1936. The Hong family, with 5 young children, had the use of 3 bedrooms, and as the Li family grew, the apartment became quite crowded. In 1936, the Hongs went to China, intending that Fay and the children would stay there for a couple years while Bill came back to Canada. When the Japanese invaded Guangdong province in 1937, the family made the difficult journey back to Barkerville. At that time, they moved across the street. A large flume can be found at the back of Barkerville. Flumes were large wooden structures used to carry water and sometimes used to carry logs. This overshot water wheel is 16 feet in diameter. It is modeled after wheels and pumps used in the tin mines of Cornwall. The early miners found that the pay gravel often lay 40 to 100 feet under the surface. The wheels were used to pump the water from these deep workings and also lift gravel to the surface. One of the cool things about Barkerville is they have people dressed up in character from the late 1800s, and they do little skits along the way. I just dropped by the saloon for an ice cream. That's what people did in saloons, didn't they? Eat ice cream? It looks like I got here just in time for the water wheel show.
Australia. You're dealing in the Australian dollar, is that not right? Yeah. And this lady from England, you're dealing in the pound sterling. And what do we use for currency here in Canada? Loonies. And you gotta be...
Welcome to the investment opportunity of 1870. My name is Irene Everly Playfair. I am the owner, the sole proprietor of the Sheepskin Mine and Claim. This gentleman standing next to me is my most capable chief engineer, Daniel Grimsby.
He's taking a picture. In the bottom of the flume, just this side of the wheel center.
Thank you ever so much.
This appears to be the trail to the cemetery. And here it is, the Barkerville Cemetery. The first person to be buried in the cemetery was Peter Gibson in 1863. By 1866, there were 27 plots. Oh, cool! I found the tombstone of Billy Barker. So come on out to Barkerville and strike it rich, or die trying.